everyone! Hi second grade artists. So in this first video we are going to be making a self-portrait together. So I have just demonstrated my self-portrait and you guys are going to be drawing your self-portraits. Here's my example. So this is sort of like maybe something you are going to make, except for yours is going to look like you, not me. So I hope you enjoy, follow along, feel free to pause the video whenever you need to like catch up or, I don't know, go to the bathroom, take a break. And yes, don't forget to send me an email or ask your parents to take a picture and send me an email of a photo of your finished self-portrait. Can't wait to see. Okay, here we go. So in this video today we are going to make a self-portrait. So each one of us is going to make a portrait or a picture of ourselves. So in this video I'm going to be making my self-portrait. So it's going to be a picture of me, but when you follow along and do this at home, you're going to be making a picture of yourself. Before we get started with the self-portrait, I am going to do a little squiggle line warm up just to get my arms, fingers loose before we actually start. So this is a really good idea and I'd highly recommend you follow along. So I'm just going to do some squiggles, really just like do some crazy wavy lines, spiral lines, and straight lines. It kind of just loosens up my arm, because sometimes your arm can get tight depending on what you're doing, especially if you're on the computer all day, which we know we are. Do some shading with the side of my pencil. What else do I want to do? I'm going to practice some ovals. I know I'm going to do some ovals in this next part. Smaller one. Maybe I'll practice an almond shape because I know I'm going to be needing an almond shape. Okay. Now that's that. We're going to put that aside. That was our little warm up. Back to self-portraits. So, let me adjust. Okay. So, today we're going to be doing a self-portrait that's kind of more of a formal self-portrait style where you often see the torso of someone's body. So it means like just a little bit under the neck, their shoulders, and up in their head. So kind of similar to a yearbook photo. That's sort of a formal portrait. So first thing you need to do is orient your paper in portrait mode. Portrait mode is the taller orientation of your paper. The other way would be called landscape mode. So you can also see it with phones, like this would be your portrait mode in your phone. This would be landscape. Same thing. That's where they got it from. It's from the art terms. Okay. Now, step one, we're going to make our frame. We're going to go kind of fancy here. So we're making our picture frame first. Now, there's many different shapes and sizes of picture frames. You could do an oval picture frame. You could do a square picture frame or a rectangle picture frame. It's kind of up to you. Oval picture frames are more maybe old-fashioned and rectangle picture frames are maybe more classic. I'm going to choose a rectangle today. So you can decide what size you want it to be. It's up to you. This is mine. I'm going to draw another rectangle just outside of it, okay? I forgot to mention, I'm using marker or pen right now. It's much easier for you to see my lines on this video, but you can definitely use pencil and then maybe go over it with pen, or just use pencil, whatever you're most comfortable with and whatever you have around. Yeah, you could even make it, let's see, you could make even like a fancy frame, make some like, because you know what, frames can get really fancy. Especially old-fashioned frames that you see in museums. They're very, very ornate, lots of details on them. I would say they're almost a work of art in themselves, these picture frames. Okay, so that's my frame. Step 2, we need to make your head. Your head is going to be an oval shape. So instead of a perfect round circle, ovals are more elongated, okay? So what I recommend, if you are maybe a little bit nervous about making, the perfect oval shape, 1, use pencil first, and 2, I always recommend students to go over with their arm, with their hand in the shape that they want to draw, but you're not yet touching down. So you're just kind of practicing the motion, and then slowly but surely, then you start to touch down onto the paper with your actual marker nib. Okay? But first, if you're feeling nervous, just do the shape with your arm, but don't touch down. Okay, so here goes. Okay, there is my oval. Now, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. So, some people, you could also give yourself a more circular or wider face or a more longer face. Some people have different types of ovals for their face shape. That's up to you as well. Third step, we are going to make our ears. Now, I am going to do this in pencil because I want to erase it later, but I want to show you. Actually, in portraiture drawing, you need to use a little bit of math to know where to place your facial features. Your facial features are things like your eyes, nose, lips, ears, eyebrows. Those are your facial features, okay? And your facial features, it's a little bit of a tongue twister, they normally go in specific parts of the face. Your eyes and your ears will normally be found halfway down from the top of your head to the bottom of your chin. So I'm going to draw a line halfway down. Now, this number 1/2 or 1/2 is called a fraction. So that's where this math comes in. So 1/2 means there are 2 equal parts of one whole on either side. Okay? So, I'm going to leave that in pencil for now. I'm going to erase it at the end because I don't want that in my self-portrait. Okay, I'm switching to a slightly thinner marker. We're going to do our ears. Ears are on the same level as our eyes, halfway between the top and bottom. Okay? And people have different ear shapes as well. Try to make them somewhat even. Although, you know what? People often do not have ears on the same level. Sometimes people have one ear that's higher up and one ear that's lower. And usually you don't know that until one day you need to go to the eye doctor and you need to adjust your eyeglasses so they sit properly. Okay, so your eyes, I was just saying, are on the same level as your ears. So that's this line here. So that's where my pencil marks are kind of coming in handy. Some people have eyes that are more close to the center. Some people have eyes that are more wider set. You can even look in the mirror to kind of see where your eyes are on your face. You could run to the bathroom right now and look in the mirror, or you could maybe ask, I don't know, maybe your mom or your older sibling or something has a little like makeup mirror that you could just put right by you so you can keep looking at your face. Eyes are a almond shape, okay? So it's kind of like an oval, but with 2 points at the end. So let me show you. That is an almond shape. Now inside, we have a circle. And inside that circle is the color of your eye. That is the iris, okay? The iris is the colored part. My eyes are brown, dark brown. So I'm gonna later, when we're coloring it in, color it dark brown. Now, in the middle of the iris, we have the pupil, okay? And that is always black, no matter what, okay? And then people have like sometimes some lines around their eyes. You can draw a line for your eyelid. Some people have eyelids that are more close to their eye, no eyelid at all, or some people have them that are further up. That's kind of where your eye folds back. So I have ones that are very close. You almost don't really see it. Okay. Above your eyelid, you have your eyebrows. Now, eyebrows are something that's very unique and personal to each and every one of us. Some people have very, very light eyebrows. Often if you have blonde or red hair, you don't have much, color in your eyebrows. I have pretty distinct and bigger eyebrows, so I'm going to draw, but they're kind of flatter. They're not very curved. They're kind of just like this. Draw one line and then kind of color it in. Okay, now back to the math. Halfway down, the half point, which is actually a fraction called 1/4 or 1/4, we have the tip, the bottom of our nose, where the bottom of our nose should be. So I'm going to estimate or guess the halfway point between here and here. I'm going to say it's about here, okay? So I'm going to draw a little dashed line as my guide. And at the bottom of this line, I need to have the bottom or the tip of my nose. So noses can be pretty tricky. Let me go back to my scrap piece of paper and just show you different types of noses. Often, kind of a very easy, quick way, if you're don't really care very much, but you just want to tell people that there's a nose there, you'll see the kind of like L shape or slightly curved L shape. That's really kind of more like what your nose looks like from the side, but people kind of like fudge it a little bit that way. That's an option. Another way is to draw the tip of your nose, and then again, this is very personal. People have very differently shaped noses. Sort of like like a wide U. It's almost like a little smiley, little winky smiley face. So that's kind of the tip of your nose. And then those are sort of like the tips of your nostrils. And then if you wanted to get fancy, those are the edges of your nostrils and the sides of your nose. And then you come up here. And then that's where your eyes would be, right? Your almond-shaped eyes. Okay. So we're going to do maybe just this part, okay? We're going to do something like that. But feel free to do an L-shaped one. If, you try this kind with pencil and it's just not working out, feel free to just do that simple L-shaped one. Okay. So you just have like a little curve, a little smiley, and two other little. Okay. And there's your nose. Now, math again. So we have half of a half is a fourth. Half of a fourth is a fraction called 1/8. So I'm going to estimate halfway point between here and here. I'm going to say it's about here. Okay, this is a fraction called 1/8. Interesting, because as these distances get smaller and smaller, the fraction, the number down here, the denominator of the fraction actually gets bigger. You'll learn more about that later in math class. Okay, now on this line, I need the bottom of my mouth. So I'm going to actually start a little bit up, okay? I'm going to start with just a simple little curved smile. Okay? Now the bottom, it's going to be here. You can kind of leave it there. I'm going to draw some top lips. And you can draw a little like as if you're grinning. Sometimes people get little like dimples here, or little, smile dimples or smile lines. Now here's your chance to kind of add anything else that you know that you have on your face. Some people also have like, little chin dimples here. Sometimes people have more of an indent here underneath their eye. If you have glasses, now would be a good time to add some glasses. We'll get to accessories, my accessories, in a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is a neck. Now, often I see kids drawing teeny tiny necks like this. You can see. That's actually way too skinny of a neck. Your head would fall off if you had that in your life. Your neck is actually much wider. It's about from here, here, and here. Okay? So there's your neck, and then you're going to draw out your shoulders. Okay? And let's see, before we get to clothing, because that's going to determine what our neckline is, let's go back up here. Let's go to hair. This might be something where you want to pause and look in the mirror. I have a new haircut. I have bangs now, so I kind of have to put like my hair, I have like a part here. I have bangs that come down here. You know what? They're getting pretty long now. And often I have some hair that comes down around my ears. You might have that too. Now I'm not going to spend too much time on my hair because I'll add more hair with some brown color later. Today I have my hair up in a ponytail, so you can't really see too much more than that. Okay. I have a little flower clip in my hair, so I could add that. Okay. All right, now to the neckline. I have a top that has a square neckline like this, but I feel like it goes to about down here, but that's kind of running off my frame, so I just leave it. I leave it as if it's falling off the frame, and it has maybe sleeves like that wide. It has this cool little like detailing that goes down. You know what? You could also totally make up your clothing and just pretend. What would you wear if it were actual school picture day? You could put your ISL uniform in there. Let's see. I also have a necklace on, so I'll color that in more with like a gold or an orange or yellow. Okay. So here is our self-portrait, or my self-portrait, I should say. I'll label it. Miss Vanessa. I love to put the date on my artwork. What is the date? The 11th. Just so I keep a record of when I drew this. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and erase my fraction lines because I don't really need it. If you have any extra lines that you've now drawn over with marker or colored pencil or something darker, you can go ahead and erase them now too. Okay, so next up, and this step is optional. This can be your self-portrait done and ready to go, ready to send me a picture. If you do have colors or you're just craving more art time, this would be your time to now add colors. I just have some crayons here. Everyone should have crayons from the little backpack that you picked up at school last week. I think I am going to tackle my skin first. I'm going to actually take this, is it a light brown color, and I'm going to just very lightly cover all over my skin. Kind of close-ish, I would say. Skin color, again, is very individual. Everyone has different tones of brown and red and yellow in their skin. So, and it can be tricky to kind of get the right skin color, you know, just with like a pack of crayons. Can be very tricky. So just try your best. Don't think too much about it. You can get different effects with even the same crayon color. Like if I was really coloring in darker, I would get maybe more of this color. And a fun fact actually, if you get to like super advanced art classes where you're mixing all these paints and you're trying to match a perfect skin tone, guess what? There is a ton of every color in people's skin tones. There's purple, there's greens in people's skin tones. It's just about how much of each color there is. Okay, so now I brought kind of that down. I'm gonna do a little bit of pink on my lips. Going pretty lightly with everything. Let's see. Oh yes. Ooh, I'm gonna use a marker. I'm gonna use a marker for my eyes. Don't know why, but I just had it kind of beside me. So those are my dark brown eyes. I could add more bang hair with this marker. Then I could go over with some darker brown. You know what I forgot? I forgot my earrings today. Those are gonna go on. My necklace, I don't have to color my shirt because it's actually a white shirt. color, my red flower hair thing. Oops, that sometimes happens when you press too hard. Okay, so that is it. One thing I forgot, you can totally decorate your frame. You could add other things in the background that maybe tell me a little bit about yourself, maybe some of your interests or whatever. So it doesn't have to be just white like mine is. You could add anything in the background. That would be awesome, an extra step. I hope you guys like this, and please, please, please send me a email with a photo of your self-portrait. I would love to see. All right, until next time, bye.